Hello and welcome to Social Media Weekly, episode 25th March 2020. Social Media Weekly is brought to you by Virtual Palace Marketing, the digital marketing agency that helps small businesses go digital. My name is Sean, and it will just be me today because we are on MCO, Movement Control Order, and we want to minimize connection with anybody, so just myself. This week's headlines. Facebook wrongly blocked innocent posts. Around is the video chat app we all need right now more than any time. Facebook sets up COVID-19 info center. Twitter bans harmful COVID-19 tweets. Instagram testing disappearing texts. YouTube and Netflix downgrade streaming quality in Europe. Back to the stories. Facebook wrongly blocked innocent posts. In their attempt to filter and block fake content about the coronavirus, Facebook's algorithm has been accidentally also blocking many legitimate posts as well. I've been seeing quite a bit, I think, with friends and families who try to post innocent posts like cooking recipes and articles from Medium that have nothing to do with the virus. On top of that, it has also been wrongly blocking legitimate coronavirus articles as well. Upon questioning by TechCrunch, the company said that there were glitches in their anti-spam system and would fix them immediately. At this point now, I think it has already been fixed because it's all back to normal. Nobody's complaining and all that TikTok videos are all on Facebook. So I guess there's no problem now. Around is the video chat app we all need. There are two things consistent with all video chat apps. We know this now more than ever. A lot of people are teleconferencing, telecommunicating. I don't know what's that word. But in any case, a lot of people are using video chat apps and having meetings. And regardless of how amazing they all seem, Zoom, Skype, and all that, first, they have these two problems, very consistent problems with all the chat apps. The first one is that they fill your entire screen, leaving almost no space for you to work. And when you close the app, your video automatically would close as well. So it would give you the impression that you're not focusing on the video. And it works fine when you have one or two people on a minimized picture-in-picture. But when you have more people, then what happens is it starts to clutter your screen. The second one is that they have very bad noise cancelling features to a point where we almost always definitely use some form of earphones or earbuds in order to communicate using the video chat. Around is about to change that. This app now is only in invite-only beta. Hopefully it gets open very soon because this is the time we really need it. It actually features floating heads that hover at the corner of your screen. So picture a bunch of little head circles floating at the corner of your screen so that we don't, because at the end of the day, we don't need all these corners, right? All these things at the side. We only need to see the person's face. And just by knowing that person is there is enough. So what Around does is it cuts through all the unnecessary angles and focus just on the face and gives like those head bubbles, like kind of like how you have Android has these messenger with the head bubbles, messenger bubbles. Same concept. It allows you to actually use the rest of the screen to do work, which is more effective than all the traditional video chat apps we have. So right now, like I said, Around is not available on open. It's just on invite-only beta. We can actually go to the website to Around app. We can actually go to the website to register, but I don't know if we will ever get I can't even find it. Anyway, because Around is such a common name, right? So wait, hold on. I think, yep, here we have. You can actually go to around.co to get an early access request to see if you can get yourself into the open the closed beta. So Around also has this pretty cool auto mute. It's kind of like a noise cancelling feature that actually actively cuts out a lot of the background noise, that even if you use your laptop microphone, you are able to properly communicate on with your colleagues or friends on the video chat, which is very good. It is something that we can say that most video call apps cannot perform. Next up, Facebook sets up COVID-19 Info Center. Just like Instagram, this Info Center will be at the top of the newsfeed. This is Facebook's effort to disseminate trustworthy health information on the virus and hopefully discourage misleading ones. This feature will be rolled out in stages as different countries have different guidance and protocols. Zuckerberg also noted that they have never had to do something at this scale before, so it's in a way asking for our patience lah, which is cool. But from what it does is, from what I see on, let's say, Instagram, it would just be, let's say, one sentence or two-liner, and then it directs us to a link, which in Malaysia's case is moh.gov.my, which goes to the Ministry of Health. So I assume that other countries would have the same kind of content as well, or maybe just like breaking headlines, that's it. And then the rest of the information, you get it from their website. So that's what they're doing. Twitter bans harmful COVID-19 tweets. It mostly relates to tweets that downplay the severity of the virus and tell people not to stay at home. We have seen a lot of this. Other content that fall in a ban zone include denial of expert guidance, which means that it says that when the expert says, clean your hands, stay 1 meter away from each other, and they say, oh, you don't have to do that, you don't have to do this, or stay at home. Oh, you don't have to stay at home, you can always go out and patronize the bars near your house or something like that. Number 2 is encouragement to use fake or ineffective treatments, preventions, and diagnostic techniques. We have seen this as well. There are people who say that if you drink... Our Malaysian minister said that if you drink hot water, it kills the virus. That falls under, I guess, fake or ineffective treatments. There are also people who say that if you hold your breath for 10 seconds, you don't have the virus, which is not true. So these fall under those ineffective ones. And there are people also say that if you eat like certain kind of paracetamol or whatever it is, and it helps kill the virus, and which is not proven. We don't know all this. So these kind of content will also be banned in Twitter. The third one is misleading content purporting to be from expert or authorities. I don't know about other places, but in Malaysia, we are seeing a lot of people who are pretending to be certain authorities or certain experts that say that there was one that says that the army has rolled out tanks and huge trucks all over the country, and they're forming a blockade and all that kind of stuff, which is not true. And yeah, people also say it's a lot of things, a lot of fake news that are going on, and it's hard to track because it's hard to track here because we don't use a lot of Twitter. We use like WhatsApp, which is more private, right? They're all end-to-end encryption, which is very hard for you to track. But in Twitter, what they do is they are trying their best to minimize or eliminate all these unnecessary, harmful COVID content. So there is something that has to be taken from this as well, because we as people have the responsibility to prevent. It's the same as breaking the chain of virus, right? To break the chain of the COVID virus, we stay away from people, we practice proper hygiene, we clean ourselves, and we only travel when we need to and where we need to. And the way to break the chain of an online virus or fake news is to make sure the news that you see is real first or not. If it's not real, don't share it. Don't just tick copy and forward everything without actually looking into stuff. There was a time when I saw someone shared me an article from Malaysia Kini. So there was a link to an article from Malaysia Kini, and there was actually a point form, the TLDR version, that is written out in the WhatsApp chat itself. So it's for people who don't want to go in and actually read the article. And funnily enough, the content of the TLDR version, the point form, has nothing to do. It is totally not the same as the one inside the article. In the article, there is actually a video as well. So I read the article, I watched the video, and in no part of it has any of that point form. It is fake news. They are sharing this thing so boldly in hopes that people will not click the link and go and actually read the article. And most people do not. Most people actually go through the headlines and say, this is this because of the headlines. So be responsible and make sure everything that you're sharing is true. Next up, Instagram tests disappearing text. Since they have already copied everything from Snapchat, might as well go all the way, right? The company is seen testing a Snapchat feature where text will disappear. Similar to videos and images, we will soon be able to set chats to be viewed once, allow replay, or keep in chat. If they are copying Snapchat one for one, I assume that the text will disappear after the recipient closes the checkbox and reopen it again. Because that's how Snapchat works. It doesn't work like a 10-second self-destruct one like Telegram or Signal, I don't remember. But it's a type where when you have the chat, if you have the chat window on, it stays there. But once you get out and you come back, it disappears. Actually, Instagram has tested this before in a very early stages when they were trying to copy everything from Snapchat. I remember that. But I think they very quickly rolled back on the chats because they believe that people are not ready to experience a disappearing chat, which is true because I used to use Snapchat quite a bit, and that was the thing that took me a while to get used to. It was a point where when I was chatting with someone and they would ask me, what did you say again just now? I forgot. And I would forget what I said just now as well, because you know how sometimes we're juggling between stuff and we're so used to the chat being there as a record of what happened. But be ready for disappearing text on Instagram soon. YouTube and Netflix downgrades streaming quality in Europe. If you're living in Europe, you will experience lower quality streams from YouTube and Netflix in the coming weeks. It isn't a problem with your device or internet. Both companies have made a point to cap stream quality in order to prevent people from clogging up the bandwidths. This is in anticipation of the rise in teleconferencing demands. And because, we in Malaysia have been, for you guys in the US and the Europe and Australia and New Zealand, you have just started the movement control order or lockdown. Believe us when we say that the internet is our final oasis of sanity. We are 1 week in. We are supposed to have another week left, but there is a very high chance that we might extend another week or two. And we need a proper working internet. And if you are complaining that your streaming quality is not as good, just work with your iPad or your laptop or something, forget the TV. Hang in there for a bit. It's better to have something to watch than to have nothing to watch at all. All right, so that's all for this week. Social Media Weekly podcast available on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Our full videos are available on YouTube, and we post bits and clips on Instagram and Facebook. From Virtual Peddlers, we hope that you're all safe and sound everywhere you are. Travel only when you need. Stay clear of people. Be clean all the time. Shower all the time. Wash your hands and all that stuff. We'll see you again next week. This is Social Media Weekly, episode 25th, March 2020. My name is Sean. Au revoir.